For Game 3, Stephen is on the play and keeps a hand of Kitchen Finks, Cloud Goat Ranger, 2 Reflecting Pool, a Johnny Goldmane, Caves of Koilos, and Plains. Joseph, meanwhile, takes the first mulligan of the match after seeing Windbrisk Heights, Wiltleaf Liege, 2 Path to Exile, Wrath of God, a Johnny Goldmane, and Noble Hierarch. He keeps his 6-carder of 2 Spectral Procession, 2 Kasali Pride Mage, and 2 Basic Plains. After a few turns of playing only land, Stephen leads off with a Kitchen Finks, taking himself to 22. Joseph responds by playing Spectral Procession. Stephen attacks with the Finks, taking Joseph to 17. Joseph swings with his Spirit Tokens, dropping Stephen to 19, and plays Windbrisk Heights. Kitchen Finks hit the red zone again, dropping Joseph to 14, and Stephen follows it up with a Cloud Goat Ranger. On his next turn, Joseph plays Path to Exile, targeting the Cloud Goat Ranger, and swings with his spirits and activates Windbrisk Heights, revealing Wiltleaf Liege, and pumping all of his creatures to deal maximum damage. Stephen goes to 13 as Joseph plays another threat, Kasali Pride Mage, before passing it back. Stephen, meanwhile, plays Glorious Anthem and a Johnny Goldmane, putting counters on all of his creatures, and then attacks. Joseph blocks with the Liege and the Pride Mage, dropping to just 6 life. On his next turn, Joseph has 2 spirits attack a Johnny Goldmane, and 1 spirit attacks Stephen. This drops Stephen to 11 life, and Joseph follows up with a Spectral Procession and another Kasali Pride Mage. Stephen decides to attack with Kitchen Finks alone, which Joseph blocks with a Spirit Token. Stephen plays another Kitchen Finks, going to 13 life, and then plays a Cloud Goat Ranger. After much thought, Joseph attacks with a lone Spirit Token. Stephen activates his Cloud Goat Ranger to give it +2/+0 on flying and blocks the token. Forgetting the exalted abilities from the 2 Kasali Pride Mages, Stephen is surprised when Cloud Goat Ranger doesn't live through the assault. On his next turn, Stephen attacks with a lone Kitchen Finks. It's blocked by a Kasali Pride Mage, which stacks damage and then destroys Stephen's Glorious Anthem. Stephen goes back to 15 thanks to Sphinx and plays Tidehollow Sculler, taking the game-ending Overrun out of Joseph's hand. Joseph attacks with a token by itself next turn, dropping Stephen to 12. On the following turn, Stephen attacks with Kitchen Finks, while Joseph blocks it with a Kasali Pride Mage, stacking the damage and sacrificing Kasali Pride Mage to kill the Tidehollow Sculler that holds the Overrun Joseph needs to win. Stephen goes to 14 from the Kitchen Finks persisting and plays Windbrisk Heights. For the hideaway, he sees Plains, Windbrisk Heights, Reflecting Pool, and Kitchen Finks. He chooses to put the non-land spell underneath. On his next turn, Joseph merely passes, 1 green mana shy of an Overrun. Stephen, on his, does the same. At the end of Stephen's turn, Joseph plays Path to Exile, targeting his own token to retrieve the necessary forest for the Overrun. He does so, and plays the Rocking Green Sorcery, prompting a quick concession from Stephen.